Well, CM Punk or no CM Punk, AEW Collision is moving forward. Tour dates have already been announced. The big upfront, Warner Brothers Discovery announced that they have picked up a new 2-hour show every Saturday night from 8 to 10. I will eat my words a little bit because last week I was one of those people just talking about the possible $1 billion deal. And though I do still think that when their deal does come up collectively, everything all inclusive, including a streaming package, for pay-per-views possibly even, or at least back catalog, could be worth $1 billion or more over the course of 5 years. Abso-fucking-lutely. I stand by that. But this was a deal just for Collision itself, and a show apparently built to just be the CM Punk show. It was a vehicle to have CM Punk be a prominent, standout face of the company and keep him separated from the crybaby Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and stuff, who are too sensitive to work in the same locker room as CM Punk, so they have to be on different shows. And apparently going into this, they are doing a full hard brand split. We've been hearing, will they, won't they, what's it going to be? Soft brand split, some people, but not other people. Check out the latest on this as Sean Ross Sapp talks about it over on Fightful on the list and your boy. Check out this clip.
So you had reported that there might be a brand split, and I'll get your thoughts on that in a minute, or a roster split.
Not might. There's a brand split.
Yeah. Okay.
Talent. We're told. I listen. I know PW Insider is saying that there isn't one. Talent. We're told today they were sent an email saying, "Don't worry, this will be addressed soon." I know there was something internally that said, starting June 17th, they will be assigned particular brands, and I was told explicitly that this exemption, as reported on FightfulSelect.com, does not include champions, not just in AEW, but from around the world as well. So if somebody comes in from New Japan or the like, there are exceptions. There are also other exceptions as well. But I don't know how many people even know about this. Like, I don't even know how many people in Tony Khan's immediate circle. I just know that there have been people that said, you can keep your Wednesdays open, not your Saturdays, that's fine, or vice versa.
They're going with the hard brand split, and that's great. I don't think they should do a draft or anything necessarily. I think it should just be quietly separated. Just quietly have a set group of guys on this show and a set group of guys on this show. That's the best way to do it. Have floaters. MJF, the world champion, obviously should be able to float from show to show, and it shouldn't be so that he has different angles on each show necessarily either. Maybe the main event angle can take place on both shows, just maybe not twice a week, because that's gonna overextend, overplay everything, and nobody's gonna care anymore. You know what I mean? It's gonna be oversaturated, played out, washed up. Nobody cares anymore. Can't have every guy on every show every week. That's too much content. People will get burnt out on it. People are going to get burnt out anyway. There's lots to dive into here besides the CM Punk thing, which I did cover in a previous clip. If you're just watching the clips and not listening or watching the full show, I did cover CM Punk as well, hit the angle with the Ace Steel and all of that situation, which kind of leaves, as I record this, leaves Collision up in the air. What are they going to do? Are they going to be at the United Center? Covered all of that in a previous clip, but this brand split was really the whole idea behind it was because Punk was going to be there, and the Bucks don't want to be around him, from as far as we can tell and what we're hearing and everything. So a whole separate show, and I like the idea of guys that we haven't seen in a long time. Thunder Rosa's back now. Not that she's a guy, but you get what I'm saying. Miro, Andrade El Idolo's going to be there. Apparently he was caught by surprise on this. Not much communication going on. We've heard that that's a problem with AEW as well. I don't mind the hard FTR over there. I don't mind a hard brand split. It's interesting in concept as long as they kind of do it different than WWE does it. But I do worry that it will tear the fan base. Could Dynamite struggles to reach 1 million viewers as it is. It barely ever gets over 1 million. So now you're going to take some of the stars that people want to see off of that show and put them on another night. Maybe people only have so much time for so much wrestling, so it could very well see a situation where Dynamite dips down to 700,000 every week or so. Because, those people want to see who's on Collision instead. And Collision, I think Collision will be happy if they can get around 500,000, 600,000. There's no way they can expect to get 7, 8, 9, 1 million. That's on a Saturday night. That's unreasonable, no matter who they put on that show. I think they'll end up getting Punk on the show. They'll make a deal. They'll get Ace, whatever Punk wants. That's the smart thing to do. You eat the shit and you learn to like it, and you get the match in the ring. Old Vince McMahon-isms, right? Covered that with the Punk story too, just to kind of paraphrase it up here. Get the match in the ring. So I think Punk will be there, at least to start with. Who knows what's going to happen going forward. But it hopefully it doesn't dilute the AEW product. I don't know that they're big enough to sustain 2 different individual unique brands. They definitely have the roster to support it, but I think Cornette had said with Endeavor buying WWE, like in merging with UFC, that's going to be a fucking machine. And if you want to be anywhere near a close number 2, you got to have all of your fucking guns ready to go. But here's the other way to look at it. They have too many guys under contract to all be featured on one show. You don't have time to have all of your top stars on every single Dynamite. You just don't. So either cut your roster all the way down to shit, and then some of those people get freed up to go elsewhere. Or, the second show. But do you need a hard divide? Maybe, if House of Black's on Dynamite one week, they could be on Collision the next week, as long as they're not on Dynamite and Collision in the same week. Same with Rampage. If you want to put a match or 2 on Rampage, don't have those people on other shows. Spread the wealth a little bit. That way, when people tune into Dynamite on any given week, they're going to see the same amount of talent that they're seeing now. And they're not going to be missing any talent anymore, where they got to go out of their way to go find a whole second show. But maybe on that second show, that's where you see the guys that weren't on Dynamite that week. So, if you missed House of Black, or you missed fucking the Best Friends or Orange Cassidy or something on Dynamite, tune in to Collision and they'll be on that show. I would consider that a soft brand split, but we're hearing that it's going to be a very distinct hard. You're going to be on this night and you're going to be on that night. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's worked for WWE, but AEW is not WWE. WWE was successfully able to make it work with SmackDown and Raw. That was something Eric Bischoff cautioned because he fucked it up with Nitro and Thunder. But what he did wrong was he did not have a brand split. He intended to. He always says he wanted to, but he didn't. He never did. So that was the point of hiring Bret Hart, was to be the anchor for fucking Thunder. And then NWO was going to take over Nitro or something. That's why there's 500 of those guys. But it never worked out that way. It was just the same guys on both shows. Nobody cared. You already seen them on Nitro. We don't need to see them on fucking Thunder now. It's watered down. If you can separate them and you're not watering it down week to week, people will want to see everybody. They'll want to watch both shows. They'll find a way. But I do think it will dilute both shows. Not necessarily because of the overuse of talent, but it will dilute the viewership, I think. I think we'll see viewership drop on Dynamite once Collision's up and running. That's just my guess. Who knows? It's all speculation right now, but this is a big risk for AEW. And this cannot fail, and that's why they got to get CM Punk in the ring too. They have to make this whole thing happen. And then they have to focus on making each show the best that they can. He has to, apparently Bryan Danielson has been pegged to be a big part of creative for Collision, for the Collision brand. That's awesome. Do that. Get your fucking creative team up and running. Diversify. Delegate. All the D's, right? Get people fucking working for you, under you. Jeff Jarrett, put them to work. Make that happen for Collision. Make the two shows both unique. Make them both must see. Do your best. But there is always the risk of burnout, both on the fans, the production, Tony Khan. We'll see how it plays out. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you even care if there's no CM Punk, or are you excited for it regardless? Do you think they should have a hard brand split, or should they do a soft or no brand split at all? Let me know. Or should they not even have the fucking show? Is it a dumb idea to do a second show to begin with, or a third show technically? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.